What up? Hello? Good day. How's it going? Welcome to day 2. There's a comment on one of my Instagram posts asking questions about sweep picking, and I figured I wanted to talk about that today. It seemed like a pretty good one to look into, as I've just learned a lot about it myself and how to actually do it properly and cleanly. There's 2 things that I think really help kind of make sweep picking as clean and just technically sound as possible. Both of them fall under the category of muting unwanted string noise, because I think probably 70% of what makes a good sweep pick sound actually good is the being able to mute what you don't want to hear. That's most of it, because honestly the easiest part is getting your pick in line with your left hand moving down and up the strings. It's mainly in trying to get all that extra string noise of the things you're not hitting out of the way, and that is mainly done by the first one I wanted to talk about, which was kind of mainly, honestly, the pad underneath your thumb, that part of your hand. That does most of the muting when you're sweep picking, at least from my experience when I'm doing it, and tends to work best for me, is most comfortable. That part of your hand's already kind of sticking out already, and you can use it just to kind of smear across the strings very easily to mute all the strings that have come before the one that you're picking now. So all of the lower tuned strings as you're going down. And then on the way up, what's mainly doing most of the work is going to be probably your index finger covering most of the strings, almost like you're barring it, but just hovering over it, so you're not barring it completely to make all the noise. Most of the strings will be covered by your index finger, or by kind of muting with your fingertips in the way that you might when you're playing, let's say, a bar chord on the A string, and how usually your index finger when you're barring that chord will mute the E string, sort of like that in just the sense of as you're going up and down the strings. But mainly it'll be your index finger when you're going back up, and this part of your finger right here, or your hand, when you're going down. I would say if you want to just experiment with sweep picking, there's a really easy pattern that you can use that I showed in the video. It's just pretty much just all the notes individually played of a bar chord on the A string of a minor bar chord. It's a pretty easy one. You can move it up and down the neck, because there is a part near the end, especially where you have to stretch your pinky a little bit farther than you probably used to. So you can put it farther up the neck if you want that to be easier, or farther down if you want to, challenge yourself in stretching your fingers out. But obviously, just like a bar chord, you can move that anywhere and it'll work. And that's a really good one to start. Another one I like is the sweeping part from the first solo of Fade to Black. That one's always a classic, and is always pretty fun to add to your roster if you haven't already learned that one. And from there, it's pretty much as simple as that. It's just finding patterns that you want to learn from either songs or just exercise routines, and just practicing that. That's pretty much as simple as sweep picking gets. The only thing that's difficult is just practicing one thing for long enough and practicing it slow and then slowly speeding it up. Obviously, the sweep picking sounds the most impressive when it's really fast and when it's really clean, and there's not a lot of string noise. So that's really where the impressiveness comes from. It's just the speed, obviously, but that comes from just practicing consistently and slowly ramping up the speed over a couple months or so. That's about it for that. For this practice routine I recorded, it's pretty much entirely still Tornado of Souls. Still practicing that every day. A couple sweep picking patterns from that are the main ones that I've been using to learn sweep picking, so those are definitely good ones to check out too. I can show how to play those if people are interested. But either way, that's about all I got for this one, so hope that helps. If you got any questions or anything you'd like to know for whatever you're doing with guitar, go ahead and let me know, and I'll try and answer them as best as I can. And I'll talk to you again soon.